Hey y'all, hey. Y'all are now tuned in to season 4, episode 8 of 4D podcast, and I'm Cambria. Today's going to be my solo episode. So if you're new here, welcome, and if you're not new here, welcome back. So y'all know we've been talking about family over the last month, starting with our episode of us all together talking about how to build relationships and reconnect with family, and then all the way through our last 2 episodes with Jada and Desinae talking about, navigating family relationships. And so today I'm going to be talking a little bit about my experience and kind of where I've been at over the last month with all these conversations. So if you want to catch up on our family conversation, you can definitely go check out our other videos or check us out on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. But other than that, we're here. So let's get into it. It's Christmas, y'all. We are a week away from Christmas. How are y'all doing? Are your Christmas decorations up? Is your Christmas shopping done? Are your stockings hung on your fireplace? Or maybe you're like me and you don't have a fireplace, but you do have a TV. So you hung the stockings underneath your TV and you went to YouTube and you turned on a 24/7 live stream 4K of a cozy crackling fireplace to set the vibes. And that fireplace may or may not be on right now, but that's besides the point. With Christmas, it's the most family-oriented time of the year. I know I've been thinking a lot about family, talking a lot about family. As y'all know, I live in DC, and so when the holidays come around, your girl gets a little homesick, a lot homesick. So I always go home for Christmas, and I'll be heading home in a couple of days. But I've also been watching a lot of Christmas movies lately. Of course, everybody has. And I like the family-oriented Christmas movies. I'm not a romantic Christmas movie kind of girl. I like the family themes. But the family themes have left me, reflecting. Because also with us, talking about family, and because we also have conversations off pod too, y'all know this. So just talking about family, watching these Christmas movies, and then just naturally this being the time of the year where we all kind of sit back and we reflect. We're thinking about, the new year, the year that we've had. I have just been having a lot of realizations, So on the note of Christmas movies, right? There's always that one character who is that hyper successful, no, I'm thinking hyper independent / successful person who, probably hasn't been back to see their family in a while. Maybe in the movie they brought their work home with them on holiday, or you got family members saying oh, we haven't seen you in X amount of years, or, we get the impression that this character, they never call, it's not like maybe they have any issues with their family necessarily. They're just their lifestyle. They're so wrapped up in their success, their career, that they just don't make time the way they should for family. Or maybe this person does have an issue with their family and their success is a way for them to kind of keep themselves distant. But in this movie, this character always has a change of heart by the end. Maybe they had, there's that theme of you have to appreciate the people that you have in your life before they're gone. And so maybe they're dealing with a loss in the movie, or maybe they have a family member who confronts them about themselves and tells them and lets them know a little something about themselves. And then they have these reflections, or maybe the person in the movie is maybe they're already kind of having this internal conflict about that aspect of their life, and they're wanting to do better and reconnecting and rebuild those relationships with their families. But with me seeing that character in all the movies that I've been watching, it's made me reflect on the ways that I can kind of identify with being that person a little bit. Kind of like that Best Man Holiday, Jordan Armstrong character. First of all, the Best Man Holiday is such an emotional movie. I literally turn that movie on every Christmas, and then I'm sobbing at the end, I hate this movie. Why do I turn this movie on every single time? But I really felt myself identifying with her when I watched that movie the other day, because it's you can't get so wrapped up in your successes and your life that you forget the people that you've always had with you. You can't forget your family. So I have been wanting to do better naturally, just trying to call and text and just be more present in the lives of my family members and the people that I love. It's been a challenge in general because, again, with the huge distance, I'm like 2,011 miles away from home, and I don't get to see everybody in person but once, twice a year, as I said. But also, the earlier years of my education, I just didn't have the time to be able to talk on the phone and be around people. But now that I'm starting to have more of my time back, I still find myself, when I know I'm like, I haven't talked to this person, I need to call them, and I'm like, okay, I'll call them tomorrow. And then tomorrow becomes tomorrow, and then it becomes tomorrow, and now it's 2 to 3 weeks later, and I'm like, okay, so when am I going to actually pick up the phone and call? And so this is something that I want to work on, because I don't want to act like it's not something that is bothering me or that it's not going to be a problem, especially with me getting ready to move from DC. You know, I finished school in May, and after I graduate, I'll be moving back to Southern California, and I'll start working July 1st. And I don't want to just dismiss how I feel now and say, oh, well, that's just because I'm so far away. Once I move back home, like, things will change, because distance is distance, whether I'm 45 minutes away from the people that I love or 2,000 miles away from the people that I love. If you don't make a priority to invest in those relationships, you won't do it. There's always going to be an excuse. I'm always going to be in a career. I'm always going to have stuff to do. I'm always going to be involved in stuff. And I don't want to continue to use life being busy as an excuse. And so it's like, I know the problem, and I know the action plan, you know, the solution of what I need to do to change. And I know that, like, the outcome of, like, all of this is just based off of what I'm willing to do in order to improve and change the things that I don't like. But it's something about that carrying out piece that every single time, I always stall. So I'm in the process of trying to figure all this out, but I know that with 2025 going forward, this is not something that I want to keep doing. Like, I do want to be more present in the lives of, like, my family members and build on those relationships, because I don't want to be at a point where you look back and you're like, dang, I had all this time with this person, and I wished I would have, been there. I wish I would have been more present. And I don't think I'm at a place where anybody in the family thinks that. At least I don't know. No one's told me that, you know, the way that I kind of navigate relationships is problematic. And so, I mean, I'm grateful for that. But also, I don't want it to get to a point where somebody does start to feel that way. Because I feel like when I do tell people, like, yes, I should call more, I should text more, I should, you know, be more present, everyone's like, no, it's okay, we understand. And I know that's also the nice thing to say, because who wants to really sit up there and say, yeah, actually, I do have a problem with it. But also, you know, I feel like as much grace as there is to give me, there also has to be some action, some accountability on my part. So if you can relate, if you know a little something about being so wrapped up in life that you don't make time for family members, let me know how you go about navigating, changing that. Because this is definitely not something that I want to carry with me into 2025. And also, the good thing about this time of year is that because I am going home to see my family, it's a good way to keep the momentum. Like, I'm going home, I'm reconnecting, I'm seeing everybody. So it's like, all right, now that I'm flying back to DC and wrapping this up, why not keep that momentum going? So that's all I gotta say though for today, y'all. Yeah, I hope y'all have a happy holiday, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, all the things. I hope everyone takes care, eats well, and stays warm. Well, depending on where you are, you may not have to do too much extras to stay warm. But if you are on the East Coast like me, it is a nice crisp 36 outside. So definitely bundle up. All right, y'all. We will see y'all in the new year for our next episode. It'll be our group episode again with a new topic. So yeah, let us know how we've been doing with our new setup this season. Let us know our deep ratings for our episodes. Interact with us in our comments. You can let us know a little something on YouTube, on Apple Podcasts, on Spotify, our Instagram page. We are on Twitter/X. And, you know, we are on TikTok for the time being. We got like 3 weeks left on TikTok. So we are on there for the time being. But yeah, let us know something. And I look forward to seeing y'all in the next episode. Bye.